Greetings, Aquarians, Aquarians rising, Aquarians moon, Aquarians ascendant. Welcome to my YouTube channel, One Who Sees Tarot. This is a general reading for the astrological sign, those of us who are born during the time of Aquarius. Welcome, and as I said, this is a general reading. So what's going to happen during the general reading is I'm going to mention some of the energies that the spirit guide has brought to our attention through the tarot spread. But before I get started with that, let me mention some of the astrological highlights for this month. Aquarians, as you start your month, you have Mercury traveling at retrograde in your third house. Third house is the house of communications. It also is your relationship with your siblings. And Mercury is the planet that deals with intelligence, communication, and travel. So you might see up until the 4th of the month at least, you might see some delays in traveling to visit family members. You also might see some miscommunications, the possibility that you're attempting to communicate to some of your siblings, and perhaps there's some communication breakdown. However, after the 4th of May, Mercury will begin to move direct, and some of those things that were causing challenges with those third house matters, that siblings and communications, as Mercury moves forward, some of those things are going to clear up rather nicely. On the 10th of the month, you're going to have a full moon in your 10th house. The 10th house is the house that deals with how people see you. It's how others perceive you. It's your reputation. It is how you are distinguished in your community, whether your community is community of work, or whether it's church, or however you are seen, wherever you dwell and occupy, wherever your normal routines are, it's how people see you. And so with the full moon bringing attention to that 10th house, what will happen is you'll be paying attention to your reputation. You'll be paying attention to how you appear. How are you distinguished? How do others see you? So you might be very pleased with how others see you. So that might give you a sense of well-deserved pride because you've been working hard. Or you might see where there's some need to make some corrections. Either way, around the 25th of the month, you're going to have the new moon. Now, the new moon brings fresh beginnings, new starts, and it also brings, it just brings great possibilities because it gives you an aha moment, and it gives you the energy to drive a plan forward. And with you, Aquarians, this is happening in your 5th house. And your 5th house is the house of pleasure. It's the house of what you do for fun. It's the house of what you want to do for fun. It's the house of letting go and perhaps having childlike behavior, or enjoying the innocence and the purity of childlike behavior in your fun. Just sort of letting go and relaxing. And when that new moon is coming into your 5th house, it's joining the sun, and it's also joining Mars. The sun brings brilliance and light and life, and Mars brings energy. So you can expect around the 25th of the month to begin a beautiful cycle of fun and enjoyment. Aquarians, you're going to love this month. All right, let's look at how the spirit guide has laid out your tarot in front of me, and let me tell you some of the energies that I'm seeing. Aquarians, I see where you're coming from a place where perhaps you were having some concerns about your future, and perhaps you were a little confused about choices that you had to make, and perhaps you were looking at life and you were saying, I'm not really clear, not really sure, and maybe it was an uncomfortable time. So congratulations on where you are now, because as I look at you now, I'm seeing that you are getting busy making things happen for yourself. Very, very good. And as you are making things happen for yourself, there are some governmental official things that you're going to have to take care of. So the governmental official legal type of matters, it looks as if it could be anything as small as a parking ticket, or it could be something like a contract. It could be something like a legal contract or a legal administrative thing that you're going to have to face and you're going to have to handle. So I'm seeing that as you move into the month of May, this legal matter that you knew about possibly is actually going to work out in your favor. Now, prior to May, it would have been a challenge. But as you're going forward, I see that you have dotted your I's and you've crossed your T's, and you're coming to a good place where this legal matter is going to work out for you. Legal, official, passport, child support, student loan, whatever type of governmental official matter you're working with, it's going to work out for you, Aquarians. I also see where some of you are going to begin a new creative project. I do see where some of you Aquarians are going to let that creative energy flow, and you're going to bring new life to something. So perhaps it's some of those ideas that you've been carrying around in your brilliant brain, or perhaps it's something new that you're curious about learning. And either way, you're going to bring new life into this creative project, and I see it for some of you Aquarians. All right, for some of you Aquarians, I see a beautiful home structure. So I do see a beautiful home, family. I see some good solid structural stuff going on in your life right now, and this is good. I also see where some of you have been steady and consistent in your work. And nothing actually pays off like consistency, and particularly if you are consistent and you are passionate. So I do see that, and this is a very good thing for you. Some of you Aquarians are looking at an opportunity that's coming to you. There's an opportunity coming to you, and once again, this ties in with that creativity, because this opportunity is an opportunity for work and for creativity, and it's coming to you. Some of you Aquarians, though, I do see where you are facing the challenge of sort of going it alone. You're trying a new project, or you're trying some new creative effort, and possibly the public or the family members, the friends. When I say public, I mean it could be close or distant, but it's not the general public, it's the public that you're used to dealing with. In other words, your family and friends, they're really not necessarily supportive of your new project right now, but that's okay. And that new project has put you in a good place emotionally. Of course, you are dealing with the discomfort of not having people support you that you've been hanging with and partying with for a long time, and people that have been close to you. But that's all right. That's the way it is sometimes, particularly when you are branching out to do something new and creative. All right, let's look a little further into your reading, Aquarian. The spirit guide is showing me where some of you are in an unhealthy relationship. Now, this unhealthy relationship, part of the reason why it's unhealthy is because you yourself are being too assertive. You're being too pushy in the development of this relationship. So this relationship is causing you, or I should say that in the aura of this relationship, you're being pushy. You're feeling impulsive. You're feeling not necessarily in control, not cool. You're not feeling cool. So the advice is going to be calm down a little bit, slow down a little bit, slow your roll a little bit, Aquarian. I need for you to understand that. Some of you are coming out of a pain, coming out of a loss, coming out of a little bit of a heartbreak, and I do see that, and that's very good because you're healing from that heartbreak. And some of you are accepting the idea that some people have walked away from you, and you've had to make that choice. You've had to make that sacrifice. And the idea is, don't go back and try to pull those people back into your life. Let them go, and you should move on with your life, because I do see where there's a great blessing and great fruitfulness, Aquarians, if you would just go ahead and take the control of your life. Just step out and stretch out forward and work on some of those ideas that you have, because I do see if you take control of your life and if you decide to be the master of your destiny, I do see where things are going to work out for you. And part of that has to do with being consistent, because I see where you are working hard and you are handling it. You're handling a number of projects, but Aquarians, you are capable of doing that. Okay, for some of you Aquarians who are a female energy Aquarians, for some of you are looking for a mate. Some of you are looking for the masculine energy. Well, for some of you female energy or feminine energy Aquarians, I do see an end to some stress and some strife, and an end to some conflict, and that's in your future. And I also see, I see a very nice masculine energy, someone who is not just financially stable and financially resourceful and helpful, but I also see that he is also attractive. And there's a possibility for some of you Aquarians that you might be moving into a place where you might be developing a permanent relationship, sort of like a family, and you might be looking to start a family and have children. So for some of you Aquarians, I do see that as a definite energy, and that's for male and female, masculine and feminine energies. I do see that, and it really is, it's nice, it's good for both of you. So as you're listening to the reading, the information is going to resound with you. It's either going to resonate with you or it won't, because this is a general reading. But I do see an end to conflict. So around this relationship developing, around this new relationship developing, I do see where there's an end to conflict. So you can listen to the reading and you can tell if you've been going through some conflict in your relationships, then I can tell you right now that I see you coming out of conflict, and I see a beautiful relationship developing. Okay, Aquarians, as I move forward, I'm being advised by the Spirit Guide to tell you that you don't have to go backwards in your life. You should not go backwards. You should follow your intuitive guide. You should follow that voice inside of you that's speaking and giving you guidance. And that voice is also, or should also be telling you that right now, go steady, take your time, don't rush. In addition, not only are you not rushing, you're not rushing on purpose. You're waiting for a few minutes, because what's happening in your life right now, you're waiting for some things to take place or to fit into their proper place that's going to benefit you. And these things are happening in the universe and you have no control over them. You can't see around the corner like the Spirit can. You'll have to wait. But if you wait, I do see illumination. If you wait, I do see things are going to work out for you. You might feel frustrated like it's not happening today. Okay, it's going to happen though. And for some of you Aquarians, as you are moving forward, I do see you receiving a good offer, and this offer that's coming to you is going to give you some peace of mind. And the reason why I see it as peace of mind is because there are other indicators in this spread that indicate there's an end to some backstabbing. There's an end to that feeling of being betrayed. There's an end to it. I see several cards in this spread that indicate an end to that negative feeling. So for some of you that are coming out of this negative relationship, part of the negative relationship has to do with you, and it has to do with you being ready to develop more into the genius that you are. Or it might have something to do, or a better way of saying it might be, as you evolve, Aquarians, you are going to have to let go of some people, because I do see where there is an end to a certain segment of your life. There's an end to some relationships. There's an end to some friendships. There's an end to some affiliations. However, as things end, new things begin. And the positive thing, the really beautiful thing that's very encouraging for you Aquarians, is that I do see good news coming to you about money. There is good news coming to you about money. Some of you have been very, very emotional about your future. In fact, thinking about your future has caused you to have, it could be nightmares, it could be losing sleep, it could be, but it's emotions, your emotions. It's not just your mind, but you actually feel concern. You actually have these deep feelings about your future. And as you move to your final outcome, to the nice, the big energy in your spread, I do see where the spirit guide is telling me to advise you that I see good things coming. So even though you're looking at a time where, particularly for some of you female energies, I do see, or feminine energies, I'm sorry, I do see where you might be experiencing some loss of resources. Maybe you're not able to have as much money as you'd like to have. But I do see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. In addition, I do see where some of you are being told, are being advised that you're going to have to continue your training. There's some further training that you're going to have to do. And this further training is going to give you more money. So this further training, whether it's going back to school, taking a course online, joining a seminar, webinar, attending some workshops, whatever it is that you have to do in the way of training, this training is specifically going to benefit you, and it's going to benefit you in the way of financial resources. For some of you Aquarian family members, I'm being advised by the spirit guide to tell you that you need to not necessarily I don't want to see you rushing. That's a big energy that I'm seeing here. I don't want to see you rushing. I don't want to see you pushing issues. I want to see you moving forward. I want to see you waiting for some things to work out in your favor. And I want to see you accepting. I want to see you accepting some changes. Accept some changes. Accept this transition period. Some of you, once again, who are looking for a masculine energy, I do see a masculine energy coming into your life. This masculine energy is a romantic partner. So you know who you are. I'm talking to all the Aquarians in the world. And so the spirit guide is giving me some highlights about your specific situations. I do see Aquarians where some of you have not, you're waiting for someone to come to your aid. Some of you have been waiting for someone to come to your aid. You've been a little tight with the money. The resources have been a little tight for you. But I do want you to know that the spirit guide is clearly showing me that there is some peace coming to you. And there is some good news about money. Money is coming to you. It's being delivered to you. You're going to hear about it. So some of you Aquarians are dealing with some unhealthy relationships. And one of the things I always like to say is that when you're dealing with an unhealthy relationship, make sure that you don't digest it, and that unhealthy relationship with those unhealthy practices and vibrations, that they don't become a part of you. They don't, they've been such a part of your intake and your diet for so long. Make sure, Aquarians, that you allow some things to purge from your character and from your personality and from your thinking. So some of you who are looking for that masculine energy, It's happening, it's coming. I do see it's a strong thrust of masculine energy coming for some of you Aquarians who are looking for that masculine energy. I do see where some of you have not been happy with the movement or the direction, or you don't feel as if you've been stepping adequately, moving adequately for your future. Well, you need to go back and get some further training. And if you go back and get some further training, I do see where things are going to begin to open up for you. Some of you need to maintain your course. Just go slow and steady. For some of you that are working a full-time job, stay there. Don't jump out. Don't jump out. If you want to try something new with your life, I'm all for development and I'm all for growth, but I do need for you to have a plan. Aquarians, you must allow the change to happen for your life. You must let go of some of those negativities. Please be advised that there is a legal matter and it is going to work out in your favor. And you do have some work to do, but you are quite capable of doing it. Aquarian family members, this has been your general reading for the month of May 2017. For the month of May 2017. If some of the information has resonated, or if it resonates with you and you'd like to book a private reading, please reach out to me through my email, onewhosees4you@yahoo.com. Let me repeat that, onewhosees4you@yahoo.com. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll be talking with you in a few weeks as we look at the mid-month for Aquarius.